The following footage was uploaded in April of 2023 by the urban explorer known as K Exploration. In it, the creator Kay and her boyfriend Jesus traveled to an abandoned palace in Portugal, built in the early 1900s by a wealthy businessman whose fortune stretched across several countries. The estate had once been considered one of the grandest homes in the region, but after decades of neglect, much of its elegance had faded, leaving behind crumbling halls, empty rooms, and countless reminders of its former luxury. At first, their exploration felt surprisingly peaceful. The couple wandered through the lavish ground floor, admiring the architecture before making their way into the old servants' quarters, fascinated by how much of the palace still remained untouched. Eventually, they decided to split up. Jesus headed upstairs while Kay entered what appeared to be an old office. The room was filled with dozens of old dolls. Some rested on shelves, others sat slumped in chairs, their faded faces staring silently into the room. It was unsettling enough that Kay immediately felt something wasn't right. Then, she heard movement. At first, she assumed it was Jesus, but the footsteps weren't coming from upstairs. They were coming from somewhere inside the palace.
I can't believe it. There are more rooms here. What is that sound? Has anything sounded? I have noises now. There are like too many dolls here. Whoa. I just lost my mind because it sounded both here and in front on the right. So well, we'll see what I find. Look. Oh! Hi. Taking pictures. Oh, sorry. Oh no, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. My boyfriend, Jesus! A man has come. This is not abandoned? But you live here? Oh, excuse me. I just take photos, not stealing, just taking pictures.
A man had suddenly appeared in the doorway. Within seconds, Kay realized he wasn't simply another explorer. He was pointing a gun directly at her. Meanwhile, Jesus was still upstairs, completely unaware of what was unfolding below. Hearing the commotion, he rushed downstairs without realizing he was walking straight into an armed confrontation. The man accused them of being thieves. To him, they weren't photographers. They were just the latest people caught inside a palace that had already been looted time and time again.
Oh, excuse me. I just take photos, not stealing, just taking pictures.
Where is it, honey?
Here. I have a camera.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. They already robbed here.
People have?
Two.
I have a camera for photos. If you want, I can show my backpack. We don't have anything.
Do you wanna see? They already come here to steal.
They have robbed here?
Both went to jail.
Oh, because they took things? At this moment, it was not clear to me what the man was planning to do with us, but at least we showed that we had no bad intentions, and it seems that he realized it, because he began to show us how they had burst open the door to try to force their way in. Downstairs, the door was open. We spent a long time talking about the vandalism that the place had suffered and about the amount of objects that had been robbed.
Eu ontem estive aqui, já estava aqui. Estive aqui na segunda-feira, isto não estava assim. Estava ali, tudo direitinho.
And you live here?
No, I don't. I take care of it.
You take care of it?
Yes.
It's your family? Okay. Do you know if there are cousins? Wow. That's awesome.
Rather than panic, Kay stayed remarkably calm. She kept her hands where he could see them, explained that they were only documenting the building. and even offered to open up her backpack to prove that they hadn't taken anything. Slowly, the man's anger began to ease. As the conversation continued, he explained that the palace had suffered years of vandalism. Valuable antiques had disappeared, doors had been forced open, and previous intruders had even been arrested for stealing from the property. From his perspective, he had every reason to believe history was repeating itself. It soon became clear that the man wasn't the owner of the palace. He was a relative entrusted with looking after what remained of the estate. Once he was convinced the couple had no intention of stealing anything, the confrontation finally came to an end. In a surprising turn of events, he even allowed them to continue taking photographs, asking only that they close the garden gate behind them and let him know when they left. What had begun with a gun pointed at an innocent explorer ended with mutual understanding, but it also served as a reminder that abandoned buildings aren't always abandoned. Sometimes the greatest danger isn't what's hiding inside, it's the people determined to keep you out. For the next explorers, though, running into security wouldn't end with a conversation. It would turn into a full-blown chase. The following footage was uploaded in January of 2024 by the YouTube channel Sinomass. In it, two urban explorers ventured inside a massive abandoned factory in Lithuania. The building appeared forgotten, dust-covered floors, construction materials had been left scattered throughout the enormous warehouse. At first glance, it looked like just another abandoned industrial complex. But the deeper they explored, the more obvious it became that someone was still keeping an eye on the property. Hidden security cameras watched the corridors. Motion sensors were mounted throughout the building. Suddenly, the explorers realized they weren't alone.
Atidarytas garažas. Tyliai. Prabėga, bėg. Kiaurai vandenį. Bėg.
Within seconds, the quiet exploration turned into a full sprint. One of the explorers fell behind as a security guard closed the distance. Then, he disappeared from view. For a brief moment, it looked as though he'd been caught.
Bėg. Greičiau. Greit, čia. Holy shit, seni. Dabar turim greit.
Fortunately, he hadn't been captured. The two explorers managed to regroup and rush towards the roof, hoping the height and the maze of industrial structures would finally put some distance between themselves and the guard. For the first time since the chase began, they thought they were safe. They were wrong.
Fuck, bėga. Atsargiai. Горячо. Шудос. Фак, бег. Бег. Klapis dar. Greičiau, lipk. Mes nieko nevandalizuojam. Mes nelaužom, mes nevagiam. Mes norim patyrinėti apleistą vietą. Mes nieko tikrai nevagiam. Aš viską ant kameros turiu. Mes žinom bet mes tik įdomiai yra apleista vieta, daug istorijos.
Somehow, even after all that running, the guard still wasn't giving up. The chase continued across the snow-covered rooftop, where every step became even more dangerous. One slip could have meant far more than simply getting caught. Eventually, after several close calls, the explorers finally managed to escape and make their way back to the ground level. Although the confrontation ended without anyone being arrested, it was easy to understand why the guard reacted the way he did. From his perspective, two strangers had broken into a property he was responsible for protecting. In the end, the explorers managed to leave without the situation escalating any further. Looking back, though, the biggest danger may not have been the guard. The freezing rooftop, the slick footing, the adrenaline, and the sheer speed of the chase created a situation where one mistake could have ended in serious injury. Sometimes the people you encounter inside an abandoned building aren't trying to scare you, they're simply trying to protect what's theirs. But the next explorers would discover something far more unsettling. Someone was already inside, and they had no idea who. If you're enjoying the video so far, please consider subscribing. Your support genuinely helps the channel grow. And the deeper we go, the more disturbing these encounters become. But for now, let's continue. The following footage was uploaded in November of 2025 by the YouTube channel Mobile Instinct. In it, Chris and his friend Jay had explored a massive abandoned hospital and rehabilitation center in Pennsylvania. Years earlier, the facility had become the center of a tragic lawsuit after a patient, whose family had warned staff he was in crisis, was never placed on proper suicide watch. He later took his own life inside the building, leaving behind a tragedy that would forever become part of the hospital's history. Now abandoned, its empty halls had become home to something else. As the two explorers stepped inside, they expected to find little more than decay. Instead, within minutes, they stumbled across something that made them question whether they were truly alone.
It's been abandoned for 4 or 5 years, something like that, and it's actually not that bad in here. No. So we're gonna check it out, take you through the whole building. What was that? Was that you? I'm talking to the camera, and Jay steps on this caution, do not enter stuff, and it pulls. It's like a trap all the way over there, and it shakes the glass. And I'm like, gah! Oh my God! Stand still. It's like Indiana Jones.
What first looked like nothing more than a strip of caution tape suddenly behaved like a tripwire, shaking a distant piece of glass the moment Jay touched it. Whether it had been intentionally set that way or simply a strange coincidence, neither of them knew. But after that, they started noticing far more troubling signs. Fresh drag marks covered the floors. Electrical wiring had been ripped from the walls. Large piles of scrap metal had been stacked throughout the hospital. Furniture had been moved. Entire rooms appeared to be occupied. Someone had clearly been spending time inside the building. The only question was, were they still there? The answer came only a few minutes later.
I hear something, but I don't see anybody through the windows. I don't see any movement at all. Are you sure they saw you?
Just stand by that doorway, and you can hear. Maybe you can hear what I heard. Because it still sounds like somebody's coming, so maybe it's just something dripping.
There's people in here. Yeah, that door is swinging back and forth. Like, I saw like a blanket fly into the hallway. I haven't actually seen him yet. I just saw the door move and the blanket. Why does this always happen? It always happens at hospitals.
Right.
So weird. That's funny. I think he's just trying to shut the door.
The noises weren't random. They echoed through the corridors as if someone was moving from room to room, just out of sight. At first, Chris and Jay couldn't tell whether they were hearing footsteps, shifting debris, or someone deliberately trying to scare them away. So they stayed hidden behind a doorway and waited. For several long moments, the hallway remained quiet. Then, the person finally stepped into view.
I think he's just trying to shut the door.
Every time we're in abandoned hospitals, we run into either homeless people or just very odd, creepy people that are in there. I don't know what the guy was doing, but he was making a lot of noise. It totally freaked us out.
He probably lives in here, and that's why your buddies.
That's what I was thinking.
I think that guy lives in this hospital and hangs out in various rooms, including this one.
Yeah.
Oh, he left his jacket here? That's random, right? Hard at work, scrapping.
The man looked exhausted. His clothes were dirty, worn, and covered in grime. From a distance, the explorers believed he was likely homeless or possibly one of the several people stripping the hospital for scrap metal. Either way, they had no interest in finding out. Choosing caution over curiosity, they quietly left the entire floor and continued exploring elsewhere. Unfortunately, the building wasn't finished with them. Not long after reaching the upper levels, they heard something again. This time, it wasn't footsteps, it was power tools.
Always careful so the doors don't slam.
You hear that?
That's the guy below us using a sawzall. You hear him?
Yeah.
I think they were just going down the stairs. Oh, nice. Yeah, so keep in mind that he's going in and out of that stairwell. That's where they go. So, because we're biting the stairwell, that's why. So he's probably just right down there. I heard them talking to each other, so he's working in here. So they're kind of double teaming it. So we just saw a guy walk out of this building where we are. Yeah, he was carrying the metal, so they're probably storing it. When he comes out, he should be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Maybe he doesn't even have a car. Maybe that's his bike down there.
That'd be funny.
It's a good thumbnail.
The deeper they explored, the clearer the situation became. Based on the scrap metal, the fresh tool marks, the saws that they could hear echoing through the building, and the people moving in and out of the stairwells, it appeared the abandoned hospital was being actively stripped for everything valuable. Eventually, the explorers watched one of the men leave the property carrying metal away from the building. Only then did the hospital finally grow quiet. With the workers seemingly gone, Chris and Jay were able to finish documenting what remained of the once massive medical complex before bringing the exploration to an end. In this case, every strange sound eventually had a reasonable explanation, but not every investigation ends that way. Sometimes, the camera catches something no one noticed until it was too late. The following footage was recorded on January the 12th, 2020. After repeatedly hearing strange noises coming from an old barn near his home late at night, one man decided to investigate. Most people probably would have ignored the sounds. Instead, he grabbed a camera and walked straight toward the building to find out what was inside. As the man hurried away from the barn, many viewers noticed something they hadn't seen during the first watch. Near one of the decaying walls, a dark shape briefly appears. It resembles what could be the outline of a head peering from the darkness, before disappearing almost as quickly as it came into view. Of course, there are several possible explanations. It could have been just another person inside the barn, an animal partially hidden in the shadows, or simply the result of low light and the camera creating an illusion. Whatever the explanation, the footage has continued to divide viewers ever since, with some convinced the camera captured a person hiding inside the barn, while others believe it was nothing more than a trick of the light. For the next explorer, however, the strange activity wouldn't be something discovered later during editing. It would happen right in front of him.
And I didn't bring the lap mics, unfortunately, but I mean, we're gonna get inside shortly anyway, so.
Yeah. It's definitely a slippery go.
The following footage was uploaded in December of 2025 by the YouTube channel Exploring with Angelo. In it, Angelo and his friend investigated an abandoned farmhouse that had left a lasting impression on him during an earlier visit. Before long, he began paying close attention to one particular room. Something about it didn't feel right. Then he quietly admitted there was a reason he had been avoiding this place.
What'd you see?
The same thing I saw last time. That's kind of why I've been like avoiding this place.
Oh.
I just saw like a woman
Shut up.
behind me in that room. What?
Well, that's a little creepy.
I don't see it now, but
What the?
Whether Angelo had actually seen someone standing inside that room or simply mistaken the shadows for a figure, neither of them could say. But only moments later, another sound echoed through the farmhouse. This one stopped them in their tracks.
Did you hear like a whisper?
is the woman trying to talk to us? I don't even have this running yet, but almost like somebody was like, shh.
Yeah, okay, that's exactly what it was, yeah.
That was really creepy.
Dude, I just heard a kid.
I don't know if that's that window thing, but
No, I heard a little boy's voice.
Eli? Someone's touching my knee. My right knee. It was like almost like something was like poking it. You trying to get our attention?
The noises seemed to be coming from somewhere inside the house. Curious, Angelo decided to speak aloud, hoping to find out whether someone else was actually inside the building, and for a few seconds, nothing happened. Then, something unexpected interrupted the silence.
What made that noise? It's like something's like... See? Something's responding? I don't know. Ah! What was that? Something just pushed me. Guys, something literally just pushed me.
The sudden movement caught both explorers completely off guard. At first, Angelo questioned what had just happened. Then it happened again, only this time, it was far more forceful.
Something just poked me. What the? Okay, hang on. Okay, what just did that? I get the idea that something in here does not like me being here. Oh my god! Help! Oh my god, something just... Careful, are you good? Yeah, careful. Something literally just charged at me in here. From right where you're standing.
By now, whatever explanation they had been searching for was becoming harder to find, whether it was someone hiding inside the farmhouse, an animal moving through the walls, or something else entirely. Neither of them wanted to remain inside much longer, so they decided it was finally time to leave.
Oh, what was that?
What was that? There was something up in the tree.
Oh.
What is that?
I don't know what that is. Squirrel?
I don't know.
Stupid squirrel scared us.
Damn you, squirrel. Guys, 1 o'clock in the morning and there's things moving through the trees. Yeah, you're gonna get scared a little bit.
For a brief moment, the tension finally broke. The strange noise turned out to be nothing more than a startled squirrel. Both men laughed, relieved to have found at least one perfectly normal explanation for everything they had experienced. Unfortunately, that relief didn't last.
No explanation as to what the hell.
What?
Oh, there was something right behind you.
That's why I'm saying what. I could see that you were looking at something behind me. What did you... Do I even want to know?
I don't know. It was dark and tall.
Well, that's always a good thing.
And it literally looked like it was reaching for you.
Why are things always reaching for me?
I don't know.
After everything they'd experienced inside the farmhouse, neither explorer claimed to know exactly what had happened that day. Some viewers believe the strange sounds, the apparent pushes, and the figure behind Angelo all point towards something paranormal. Others believe there are more ordinary explanations hidden somewhere beyond the camera. Whatever the truth may be, the abandoned farmhouse left Angelo with far more questions than answers. But for the final explorer, the strange activity wouldn't be limited to a single unexplained moment. It would continue throughout the entire investigation, inside one of the oldest and most haunted hospitals in England.
What the was this? It sounded like a little girl. I don't know what it was. I don't know. It sounded like a little girl. Oh.
Back in October of 2023, a YouTuber named Colin uploaded a seriously creepy video to his channel, The Bearded Explorer. This time, he picked a place with a seriously dark history, the Royal Hospital Haslar in Gosport, England, opened way back in 1753. This was the UK's very first naval hospital, and at one point, the biggest in the entire world. For more than 250 years, it treated sick and wounded sailors from the Royal Navy. But after decades of decline, the hospital shut its doors in 2009 and has been rotting away ever since. And of course, it's got a reputation for being haunted. The most famous ghost? A nurse who died here during World War I. People claim to see her spirit wandering the halls, along with reports of cold spots, weird noises, and that constant feeling you're being watched. None of that stopped Colin from going in alone in the middle of the night. He slipped in through the basement, taking in the crumbling walls, peeling ceilings, and even red stains on the floor. Medical equipment was still scattered around like everyone just walked out one day. But barely 5 minutes into exploring, Colin saw something that set the tone for the whole night. A door closing on its own.
And behind me, that's from the docks. Well, they used to bring the injured sailors on here. If they could be treated, they would be taken into the wards. And if they couldn't, they would go straight down to the church. And there is a mass grave out there. 10,000 people buried. Absolutely mind-blowing. I can't express to you like how creepy this place is walking around on your own. I can't help but feel that there's somebody walking right behind me. It's really, really creepy. And what we're going to do, we're going to walk through this area and we're going to have a look in there first, and then we're going to go upstairs and check out all the MRI scanners. Okay, that was weird. That door has just closed. But there is absolutely no wind in here whatsoever. What the was that? Okay, that was really, really creepy. I've only been here literally 5 minutes and that's happened. I'm going to get out of this area because that was actually really scary. I don't know what that was.
With no wind and no one else in sight, that door moving on its own made no sense. A little later, upstairs, Colin noticed a curtain swaying. Again, no breeze anywhere. He pushed on with the exploration, but heading into the basement, things started getting weirder.
This is one of my favourite parts of Hasler. And like I said before, there is a very sad story to a nurse who actually committed suicide here. Her name was Mary. After the death of a child that she was caring for, and she from the top and sadly passed away here. Very, very sad story. Now, there are a lot of sad stories of this place. Okay, so we are now at the bottom of the spiral staircase. I love looking up this. It's so cool. We're now going into the basement. Let's go down this way. What's that? Must have been a pigeon. Oh yeah, probably was coming through that window. I don't like being in here though, I must admit. Oh, I don't think we'll bother going up there today. I swear I just heard something then.
At first, he chalked up the noises to pigeons, but after hearing it again, Colin bailed on the basement and went back upstairs, only for the noises to follow him.
And it's quite nice to see that everything is still here. Still crazy to think that all of this stuff is in here, all the paperwork. Oh my God, what the was that? It felt like I bumped into someone, but there's no one there. Whoa, okay, freak out. Whew, okay. There's nobody there. It felt like I bumped into someone, but there's nobody there. There is nobody there. Whew, okay, that was a little bit scary. So I feel like I want to check every room now just to make sure there's no one in here, because that was really weird. Hello? Why do I do this to myself?
He felt like he had literally bumped into someone, but the hallway was empty. Shaken, he started checking every room, but still nothing. His nerves were already on edge when he heard something else.
Supporting the rhino. That sounded like footsteps. Like that, what I'm doing now, that's exactly what I just heard. Right, I'm getting out of this bit. That was really, really horrible. Now I think the operating theatre is this one on the right here. Is it that one? Yes. What the f was that? Okay. That was weird. That was really, really, really weird. Oh, God. I can't tell you how scared I am at the moment. Oh, God, I've just got to laugh about it, though.
Chasing after the sound turned up nothing again. But as Colin turned and walked away, something happened that he couldn't ignore.
Oh, God, this is so scary. Honestly, guys, if you've never tried this before, the adrenaline rush you get from it is phenomenal. It really is. But at the same time, it is very, very scary. My heart is racing 10 to the dozen at the moment. Right, I think this is the way out here. Right, I don't know if you heard that then, but that sounded like a... Hello? This is absolute bull. There is no way I just heard that. I'm sorry I'm swearing, guys, but I do swear when I get scared. What the is this? It sounded like a little girl. I don't know what it was. I don't know. It sounded like a little girl. Oh. What? No way, that has just happened. There is no way. That is... Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What? Right, you've just seen that with your own eyes. I have not touched that. There is nobody else here. What was that? How the that happened? Okay, that was really, really scary. I didn't like that. Right, I really want to get out of here now.
Moments later, a door slammed shut right in front of him. No wind, no people, just the door moving on its own. Colin was ready to leave, but the hospital wasn't done with him yet.
Completely stripped. Every single room is just gone. Oh, I think that's a dead end up. Is that a dead end? No, that's a dead end up there. We go... What the was that? What the Hang on. Whoa. No. What the is going on? It sounds like loads of people. What the is going on? There is no way that just happened. There is no way. There is no way that just happened. There's no in there. There's no way anyone could have been in there. Okay, I am getting out of here. That I'm gone. Oh God. I'm going. That's it. I'm getting out.
At one point, he spotted a cupboard door shut. Seconds later, it was open. He bolted. But curiosity pulled him back. By the time he returned, the door had mysteriously closed again. That was it. Colin made a run for it, got back to his car, and ended the night. Whether what he caught on camera was paranormal or not, that's up for you to decide. But either way, the Royal Hospital Haslar remains one seriously creepy place to explore, especially alone.
Lock.
And that wraps up this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe so we can keep bringing you more creepy, bizarre, and haunting tales. Check out the links below to dive deeper. And if you have your own creepy encounter, tell us in the comments. We might feature it in a future video. Until next time, sleep tight.